Well, here it is. I think some of you figured out that I picked up the Godzilla. We're gonna cut her open here and see what it looks like. Mine, this one came from a 2021 Super Duty from a brand new truck. Of course, it's gonna be a little more stubborn than I thought. There she is. Cut any wiring here. I don't know what I'm going to need and what I'm not. But more than a little bit exciting. You see, it doesn't have the oil cooler, it doesn't look like. Probably going to make something for that. Oh, I love that they cut the hose instead of giving me the whole hose, but what are you going to do? I got a lift plate. And we're not sure yet or how, but it's going in that car. Wish me luck. All right, here's my initial walk around. Some ideas and thoughts. The truck must, this thing must be really tucked under there because they run the fill tube. I finally went to a 530, which I always recommend for modulars. I actually run a 030 in my car. Nice headers for cast iron. I don't see any reason to change those early on. We got our knock sensor under here. It's got the pickup like the Coyote. It's a very similar rear cover main seal. Not much else. A lot of the wiring is going to have to be cut up. Looks like they did a nice job with a single loom. That looks like the lead for the probably the 10R that goes behind it, or whatever they use in the truck. I don't know. The other knock sensor right here. The filter. It's right along the oil pan. It's got a separate belt system for the AC, separate tensioner. Idler, it seems overly complicated. And the water pump looks like a cartridge, but a larger style than we're used to in the modulars. Quite a lot of bracketry going on here for the belt. I think that's going to be something that I work on, is trying to clean that up. Maybe a whole new front cover, because this is coming way out here, all the way out here. That alternator looks like it's a tank holding it on there. But, ooh, great, cut a power steering line. But it does have a power steering pump. I'm assuming I'm going to give that a whirl and run that on the Hydro Boost. Or if the bolt pattern's the same, I'll change the pump out. Or if it's close, even, for that matter. Looks pretty promising. There's a lot of room in there. I'm betting that the supercharger companies, I love how they mounted the rails right to the heads. All the injectors. That's going to be very easy for aftermarket to deal with. It won't have to have injector bosses in the intake at all. And look at that, even a brand new engine has a little bit of collection in it. Look at that, number 100. Windsor Engine Plant. This was made in Canada. The truck went to Canada and came back to Michigan. Gotta love that. All right, as you can see, I couldn't help myself and pulled the oil pan, but I got in a hurry and made a mess everywhere, but oh well. We got a chain-driven jack shaft. Going back to the oil pump in the back, direct from the pickup. There's an output that goes out through the pan that feeds the cooler. And here you can see there's a crossover tube in the pan. Goes over to the filter mount. And it comes back up through there. I broke that sensor. It was in here because a pan feeds back to this hole here. That's where the pressure is supplied to the engine. But as you see, the pan is just RTV'd on to the block. And you have to pry on it a little bit, and they give you some places to do it, but still made a mess out of that sensor. That's right, I'm sure I'll get another. So I put up, this is a regular poly engine mount for a Cobra, for New Edge we'll call it. 2 holes mount up nice, the back one. But I think I'll be able to make a plate that goes across from here to here. Supports that, assuming that the K-member lines up in a good spot. That's going to take a lot of measuring later. I've noticed now, since I've had it upside down, there's 2 knock sensors on both sides for a total of 4. I'm not sure what this is all about. That I'm assuming is a block heater. Getting some more progress. I can tell you that the engine stand I had set up for a modular bolted right up with no trouble. So it's the same bell housing pattern. And I think that's all for tonight. I got to get in and get some dinner. That's the excitement right there, Godzilla.